It is open. So thank you everybody for joining. The purpose of our group is to build a supportive environment where we can all practice our public speaking abilities. We normally say the Pledge of Allegiance if we're in person, but we can probably skip that. And with that, I will hand it over to Stacy, our president.
Thank you, Christiana.
You're welcome.
Looks like we have a good turnout today. I love it. Happy New Year. It's our first meeting of the year. And I'd like to first of all welcome our guest, Trang. How did you find out about us? And let us know what your reason is for joining our meeting.
Yeah, thank you so much. So Steve actually talked to me about Toastmasters. I have never heard of it before. I went on the website and saw all about it. There's so many organizations. And Steve was like, hey, I have one at 12 tomorrow. If you would like to join, please come. And yeah, I'm all about it. I can't wait to learn more, and I'm pretty excited. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. We love it when people are starting out, and it's just so exciting. You might get attached to it like we are. And if you want to check out other clubs, you can, but we encourage you to look at other clubs, and then if you want to join us, that's great. Then we know you really want to be here.
We're one of the best, that's for sure.
Yeah. We love the group, and we've been coming for a long time. So I
invited Steve, or do you already know Steve?
Hi, Steve. Yes. Do you want to introduce yourself anyway? Just give us a little background.
Yes, thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Angel, do you go by Britt? Angel, I've seen it on your thing as Britt.
Well, Angel here usually, and Britt for photography.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, Angel mentioned the group, and I can't remember what you said, but it sounded so good, so I had to come and visit you guys. This is Trang. I haven't been to this meeting before either, so you and I are both first timers, but I'm a part of the member of the Beach and Business Toastmasters in Carlsbad, and been a member only about not even a year. So I just started last year. Trang and I both work on WebEx and Zoom a lot with advisors, so I wanted to be able to practice my skills and make sure I don't say too much, and it's been working out well. And I like the program that we have, where you can go at your own pace. There's materials available on the website that you can go through, and there's, at least on our group, there's no pressure. I don't know what you guys, but there's no pressure.
We're very friendly here. Don't worry, it's a safe space. We're here to help everybody grow, develop, and enjoy the day. So you'll have lots to join in with.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Steve. I have announcements that I'll save until the end of the meeting, but I'm just going to have one now just because I'm so excited about it. We got a ribbon from Diane Abrams, and it's for having all 7 of our officers attended training last 6 months. And so we get a ribbon, and it's called the 100% Club Officers Trained ribbon. So here we go, Christiana. Here's another ribbon for the banners. That's real. I mean, that's pretty good. So we have more training coming up, and I'll tell you about it at the end of the meeting, because now I want to introduce Angel as our Toastmaster of the day. So let's welcome Angel Britt.
Oh, wait, that's me. I'm clapping myself now. Thank you very much, everybody. And welcome to Expressions Unlimited Toastmasters of Carlsbad. We're meeting in Zoom today because it's the first meeting of the month. We do that every month, but generally the rest of the month we meet on Fridays for 1 hour in person. We meet in Carlsbad, and we meet at a wonderful location inside the Heritage Hall at McGee Park, which is just west of the Coast Road. Beautiful spot to come. So hopefully we'll see you in person as well soon. Today, I have one speaker listed, but very often we have 2 speakers for you to enjoy, followed by joining in and speaking ourselves. Because our meeting is technically in 3 parts: prepared speeches, which are short and fun, and then evaluations, where you can also chip in and give some tips, some impressions, what you feel people have done well or need to learn to do better. And then at the end, we have loads and loads of fabulous questions, quick fire short questions. And today Evie will be giving us the questions. Hope you're all set for that, Evie. She's nodding. Good, good, good. And so guests, we hope and encourage that you're joining with us as well. I'd also just like to ask at this time if we have anybody who would like to give a prepared or off the cuff short speech, because we only have one listed. We do have time for two. If anybody would like to wave vigorously at this point, we'd love to have you speak for 4 or 5 minutes and tell us about something, maybe something we don't know. But if nobody waves vigorously, then Evie, you're going to have extra time for our table topics section at the end. Looks like that's what we're going to do. All right, so our prepared speech today is going to be from Pat Hartley. I'm very excited to hear it. He's done lots of interesting speeches. He's following a line of speeches called persuasive speeches that he's been practicing. And so his persuasive speech today is called Find Your Balcony. Do we have a timer? Ah, lovely. Thank you, Christiana. It's a 5 to 7 minute speech. Please put your hands up and help me to welcome Pat Hartley with Find Your Balcony. Pat Hartley.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I found my passion when I was in the 5th grade. My class took a field trip down to the San Diego Civic Center to listen to the orchestra. Now, it was really dark. It was, they stuck us way up in the balcony, and I just had a great experience. It was so peaceful. It was very quiet, except for the orchestra. And I felt something special. It was indescribable. I don't know why, but I got up and I went and laid down in the terrace, the little walkway up there. My teacher must have either she didn't know or she didn't must have been puzzled, but it was I knew then that art or music was what I wanted to do with my life. So today I'm going to tell you why now is a great time to explore and different careers and find your passion. And I'm going to give you some tools to help you find your strengths. The more we know about ourselves, the better equipped we are to choose situations that serve our well-being. Now is a very unique time. People see this pandemic as a time to reset, to explore new careers, to let go of old ideas. The opportunities are limitless if you know your strengths. A 2010 Gallup poll found that 80% of the global workforce is employed in jobs that are not playing to their top 5 strengths. I encourage every one of you to ask yourself, is this job, this career serving my highest and best interest? You might consider, if you don't have a clear answer to that question, you might consider creating yourself anew with something that better aligns with your strengths, your passions. Now, some of you may think, well, I just want to make money and the happiness will follow. And a lot of people do that. But a recent study by CNBC found that social relationships and connectedness are the most important contributors to happiness. No amount of money will bring you peace if your heart is not in it. More and more people are working from home. They're choosing to create their own career instead of just getting a job. It's possible that you might have felt pressure from society, from your family, to choose a job that's more mainstream compared to, I don't know, skateboarding. I can remember growing up in the 80s that could never figure that skateboarding or music, hip hop would be such a global industry. Businesswire.com said that skateboarding is a $5 billion industry, and hip hop is like a global craze now. It's in every country. I'd like to talk to you about some of the tools. Oh, 70% of Americans, here's a little fact. Let me back up. As far as taking a mainstream job, there may be pressure from the culture around you, and it's hard, with that pressure, it's hard to remember that you're a contributor. You're a valuable contributor to the world. You're not just another consumer, you know, in the matrix. A 2017 Gallup poll found that 70% of Americans were disengaged during work. That means they had no motivation, to be effective, to be productive. I'd like to talk to you about some of the tools to help you find your motivation, find meaningful, find your strengths. There are a lot of resources available to test yourself, to learn about yourself, and I can put them in the chat later. I wanted to have slides, but there are a lot of them are available for free. There's many websites like 16personality.com and truity.com. They offer free assessments, Myers-Briggs.com, and a lot of them are free. I wanted to also share some of my experience so that you don't take your time for granted. One of my jobs, I just got out of necessity. I was tired of paying a lot of money to mechanics. So I took some mechanic courses, and that ended up into a job as a mechanic. I enjoyed it so much that I got a job. To be honest, even though I had some success as a mechanic, I wasn't the best employee, to be honest. It's a tough job. It's hard on the body and you get stressed out. And after 15 years, I was laid off. But by then I had reconnected with some of my artist friends, and I was doing little side projects in the community theater. So in retrospect, laying me off, they did for me what I couldn't do for myself. And I knew I wanted to find something that was more connected to my authentic self, but I had no idea how to do that, if I even had the courage to do that. I took the Myers-Briggs Test at the employment office, and it told me that I'd be more happy. I was actually trying to get solar training for a solar installer, and someone, like I see someone else is reading that. They told me that I would be more happy in a job that's artistic or more social. But they gave me the training and I took the training anyway. But in the back of my head, I was thinking, maybe I should look into something more creative. Well, after bouncing around different jobs and taking classes, I took a broadcast journalism class at Palomar College, and I got a job doing at the TV station. And in 2018, I got nominated for an Emmy for a video package and the video editing and sound design. I was so proud to be recognized for something artistic after my whole life of doing other jobs. So when I'm making videos or music or telling stories, I'm fully energized. I'm fully present. I'm right here. So I encourage everyone. It's like I'm back on the balcony. I'm back listening to that orchestra. So I encourage everyone to listen to their body, to listen to their heart, to find your passion, find your balcony. And you can ask the universe to show you, how can I be of service? And then be patient. Sometimes the answer doesn't come right away. Sometimes it comes unexpectedly. Now is a great time to explore, find your purpose, find your passion. And I gave you some tools to do that. Your time is the one commodity that you can't get back. So I encourage you not to waste it. It's too precious. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you very much, Pat Hartley, for that speech. And before we go any further, I would love to invite you all to give a little bit of feedback to Pat. It's so helpful to hear what you thought listening to that speech, whether you have any complaints, criticisms, any tips, or what you liked especially about what he did. You can talk about his voice. And I love that he was standing. So I'll give you 1 minute. If you'd like to put some info in the chat, you can send it directly to Pat if you can find his name there. "30 seconds left." Thank you very much, everybody. Your feedback is so vital to help us develop and become better speakers. Thank you for sending stuff. And Pat has put some information in the chat for us as well. It relates to what he was telling us. And I love, Pat, that you made it about being new, and your phrase when you said to invent yourself anew, to create yourself anew. What a lovely phrase. And that's really the theme of our meeting, being that it's a new year. It's all about new things, new starts, all that stuff today. Now, while he was speaking, people were listening. Now, we have Lucille listening to all the ums and ahs and ifs and buts that we might come out with this morning. And then we also have Greg listening for all the really good uses of English, if there are any. But Alex, even more importantly, is going to give us his thorough evaluation of that speech. And thank you, Christiana, for timing them for us. I'd like to pass the meeting over to Alex now to give us his evaluation. Oh, sorry, I have forgotten one thing. I didn't know who the GE was. Stacy, it's you. I see that now. Would you like to step in here?
Yes, I am the one that introduces. So I'd like to introduce Alex as our evaluator. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Yeah, well, I sincerely hope you can find your ideal balcony, because your speech was very, very encouraging for us to find our own balconies. You started with the passion. You had a lot of energy with the start, but then once you got to that balcony, I felt like some of that passion sort of dissipated, and I wish I saw a little bit more of that. For example, when you said that you found your perfect balcony in the 5th grade when you went to the orchestra concert, and you got to the balcony, and then there was just lack of emotions. So that's my first suggestion that you should pay attention to. From time to time, as you told your story, you also lost some of the eye contact. You were looking to the side, or you were looking upwards. Sometimes you were looking at us to the camera. So I suggest working a little bit on that. Then you moved on to the outline of the speech. You presented the tips that you may give us to become successful and find our own balcony, as well as the tools that you provided us with, such as personality tests, some of the manual sites to find the jobs. That was great. I really enjoyed that. You gave the audience a heads up of what to look at. And I thought that was really, really nice. Moving along, you jumped to the stats. The stats were really helpful. It gave us a general overview of what the current population, at least in our country, is feeling like about their jobs, whether or not they're happy about their jobs, whether or not their skills match with the expectations of what kind of jobs they're doing, and whether or not they are actually seeking their own balcony. So I thought that was really nice. Thank you for that. You had lots of really great quotes. money will not bring peace if your heart isn't in it. I absolutely love that. That was really, really great. Throughout the whole speech, you kept us engaged and you kept encouraging us. And especially I noticed that in your conclusion where you highlighted, find your passion, find your balcony. That was another one of my favorite expressions that you gave. Now is the time, and time is precious. I just absolutely enjoyed that. So thank you for bringing all of that to a logical conclusion that was very, very encouraging. Another major suggestion I would like to give you is you had a few stutters throughout the speech. Every time you stutter, I suggest remembering that try to replace that stutter with a pause, because your speech was blended with pauses and stutters. So every time you stutter, just remind yourself, oh, maybe I should make a pause and reconsider the next point I'm trying to make in the speech. Because there was a part in the speech where you said, let me back up for a second, because you got a little bit lost in your outline. So next time, when you feel like you're about to make a big stutter, just make a pause and think about, oh, maybe I forgot to make a point about the previous part that I was saying, so let me backtrack a little bit. But I thought you exited nicely when you made a suggestion regarding, let me go back to the previous point and backtrack and give some background about the next point you were trying to make. I thought that was wonderful. And thank you as well for bringing the job examples where you talked about the skating and the pop culture and all other areas of jobs. There were people where they were trying to find their balcony. Overall, it was a really great speech. You went a little bit over time, but I really, really enjoyed it. So thank you, Pat, and I look forward to more of your speeches. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Very good, Alex. Thank you very much. I will return it back to Angel.
Thank you very much. I didn't write Toastmaster under my name, but I should have, so that you'd all know that I'm the Toastmaster just for today. Christiana, are you our timer for today? So I think you might have forgotten to time Alex there during his evaluation.
No, I did. I can't change my background.
But did you wave anything?
Yes, I had colored books. I had a green, yellow, and red.
I saw them for the speech. Yeah. I didn't see them for Alex's evaluation just now.
Oh, shoot, for Alex's evaluation.
It's okay.
Don't worry. I'll explain that if she does wave anything now, it's going to be to give you an idea of how long you've spoken for. In a moment, I'm going to ask Evie to start our table topics. And when she asks a question of you, you may look at Christiana over there and see whether or not you're speaking to time. Christiana, would you like to explain what it is that you're timing for table topics, please?
Sure. The table topics should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. And at 1 minute, I'll raise a green. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll raise a yellow. And at 2 minutes, I'll raise a red.
Meaning it's nearly time to stop. Yes, Lucille.
Just to make sure, it's 45 seconds, right?
Oh, did she say minutes?
For table topics.
And what?
45 seconds.
Table topics are what? Wait.
It starts at 45 seconds, 1 minute, 1:15, 1:30.
Okay, I downloaded this off the web.
That's okay.
Thank you.
We have a lot of time today, so if you want to stretch it, that's fine.
So 45 seconds, and what was the second one?
1:15.
1:15. Okay.
1:30.
And 1:30. Okay.
Awesome. And while you're there, Lucille, would you tell everybody what it is that you're doing while we speak today?
Yes, because we do have a guest, don't we? And this is her first time. Welcome, Trang. So my job today as an counter is I listen for the filler words. Those are the ahs and ums, so's, but, things that you should not be using. Instead, use the pause. But when you use that, I'll just mark it down. It's good for us to know how many ahs and ums and likes and you knows that we're saying in our communication, so that will make our communication much more fluent. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucille. And Greg, you also will be listening for something special. Would you please tell us what you're doing today?
As generally, as grammarian, I listen to make sure everyone says the word of the day during the table topics, and also listen for great uses of the language, or at least uses that pop into my head that I like. And maybe if I see something not so good, I can point that out too.
And do you have the word of the day there, Greg?
The word of the day is stupendous.
Stupendous. Do you have a definition?
No.
I would say that it means wonderful.
It means terrific. Yeah, terrific
Terrific.
and great. Terrific and great. That
Yeah, exactly. And if we can work that word in, we might have some more upbeat responses. Okay. Well, without further ado, then I think we really should hand over to our table topics master and let her tell us all about her theme for the day and her question. Please, will you all help me welcome Evie?
Thank you, Angel, and thank you, everybody. So yes, so the theme for today is new beginnings, start of a new year, and what it is that we are really looking forward to this year, any new habits, new exciting adventures, and maybe what it is that we are looking to potentially shift this year. And so my first question is, given that we just entered the new year 2020, what is one thing that you are really looking forward to this year that may be stupendous? And this question can go to you, Devin.
This year, I think I'm looking forward to hopefully traveling a little bit more. We had plans to travel. Now, this new variant and all that's throwing things off a bit, but I love to travel. And we were going to go to Europe and see the tulips in the Netherlands, which I have seen before and is a stupendous sight. I will say it's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite places in the world. So I'm really hoping that still happens. And then the second one is getting to see my niece who lives on the East Coast. So I'm going in 2 weeks back there to see my sister and my niece. So I'm looking forward to both of those things in 2022.
Thank you. Thank you. My second question is, given that we just entered the year 2022, what is one thing that you are not looking forward to this year? And I would like to ask, I forgot to ask, would our guests like to participate? I believe we have Trang and Steve. Would both of you like to participate? Okay. How about you, Trang? Would you like to take this question on?
Yes, I will take it on. So something that I am not looking forward to is COVID. No one wants that. Hopefully I don't get it. I am vaccinated. I got my booster shot. I have been wearing my mask, gloves, all of that. So that's one thing I'm not looking forward to. Another thing I am not looking forward to is maybe some personal internal, I guess, conflicts. I feel like last year and the year previous, everyone has gone through a lot of trauma and losses. I know that I have. I'm hoping that we don't face that anymore. It's a tough thing to deal with. It would be stupendous if all of those didn't exist, but I know everyone goes through it. So that's how we're all related. Thank you.
Thank you, Trang. My next question is, what do you think is something that you would like to stop doing this year that you may have been doing last year? And how about Dina? Would you like to take the question on?
Hi, Evie. Hi, everybody. What was the question again?
Sure, yes, sure. What do you think is something that you would like to stop doing this year that you may have been doing last year?
I would like to stop eating junk food. I've been eating so much junk food in the last few months, and it would be wonderful and stupendous if I could control my willpower a little bit more. But when I see all these delicious sweets and fried food, it's really tough to maintain myself because I think I'm just going to have just a little bit, but of course, that little bit ends up being a little bit more, and then it ends up being way too much. I would definitely like to control that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dina. My next question is there one new habit that you would like to adopt? Did I just ask that? Oh, no, sorry. Is there one new habit? It's so talking about habits and things to discontinue, things to continue. Is there one new habit you would like to adopt this year? And if yes, what is it? Steve, would you like to answer the question?
Sure, thank you very much. That's a great question for me. To adopt a new habit, usually I'm trying to quit habits or stop habits. The habit about sugar for me, or junk food for me, is definitely one. I've never gone into a junk food encounter and decided I'm only going to eat a little. It's never been, I go in planning to eat a lot. But the one thing that I wanted to start doing is work related. And it has to do with possibly being more focused on regularly following through on my commitments to email or contact my clients on a regular basis, rather than doing it as in groups. Because what I'll do is I'll get all excited and I'll take care of it all at once and do a lot of them and get all of my tasks done, rather than staggering it out and making it a regular part of my process all week, which is a lot more manageable to me. So that's something that I would like to incorporate. I haven't thought about doing that though, but because of this question, I think that's something that maybe I should. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. My next question is, what do you think? Will this year be better than last year? If yes, why yes? If not, why not? And how about Megan? Would you like to answer the question?
Okay. Ivy, yes. I think that 2022, it will be fabulous. I mean, no one really can say that, but it's going to be fabulous. And I believe that if everyone believes that it will be fabulous, it will, strange things will happen, and that it will all be just terrific and stupendous, because the 22nd, I don't want you all to know that 22nd it happens to be really a special number. It's my birth date. And so the 22nd year has to be fantastic for January 22nd. And so everything is wonderful this year. It will be fabulous. And everyone should believe that, because then it will be. For each person themselves, if they believe it will be fabulous, then it will. I believe because what each person has inside them comes out. If you believe it's perfect, you will act. Okay. And our anniversary is 22nd. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Megan. And actually, I had a question very similar that I think I'm going to ask now. I wanted to ask it later, but I think it really nicely follows to what you have said. And the question is, why do you believe that the year 2022 will be amazing? And I would like to ask the question to Alex.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. Why do I believe that the 2022 will be the greatest year? Following up with what Megan said, of course, if we truly believe that this year will be special and wonderful and maybe even the best year, it will happen. But it all begins with you. If the year is wonderful and great in your life, you can take that year and you can share it with others. And you can make somebody else's year, and not necessarily just a year, but at least a day better. And That should be our commitment as human beings, as a community, even as the club, is that we should share the greatness of our day with others. Because if somebody else is not feeling it, you can make their day just stupendous by simply saying, hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What's wrong? Tell me about your story. And knowing me, my day just stupendously becomes better because people talk to me. People want to know how I'm feeling, and people want to share their feelings with me as well, which is why I strongly believe that this year will be great because people will finally begin communicating, sharing, and finally stop this COVID fear and start communicating just like we were communicating before COVID. So thank you very much. And back to you, Madam Table Topics Master. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. My next question is, do you believe in setting goals for a new year? If yes, why yes? If not, why not? And Stacy, would you like to answer the question?
Yes, thank you, Evie. You know, that is a question that you asked the right person, because I have so much difficulty with setting goals, because I know that when you set a goal, you have to actually do it. And I haven't been really good at doing that. So maybe this is something for me to really work on this year, is to start setting goals and writing them on a piece of paper and making sure that I look at them every day, and not making it such a negative thing, but just a positive thing, because goals can really change your life, or they can change your living environment, or it can change, you know, how much money you spend, all kinds of good things that come out of setting goals. So that's a good question for me in particular. I don't know if the rest of you have the same problem that I have, but goals is so I'm going to set a goal this year to set goals. How's that?
Thank you so much, Stacy, for that. And I have actually a question that I do not have written down here, but I'm going to ask you because I think it perfectly follows what you just have said. And the question is, please share with us 3 strategies that work really well for you to accomplish your goals. And I would like to ask this question to Angel.
Well, thank you for that question. I wasn't expecting one. And as I don't accomplish my goals easily, I'm not sure what the most effective or stupendous results come from. I love what Stacy just said about putting things up where you can see them. I don't like to mess up my house with that stuff, but a lot of my friends put Post-its or vision boards around the place. I think the other thing she just said that was helpful was that it doesn't have to be like a negative. Oh God, I've got to do this thing, this goal I set myself. I think I might make a little list of fun stuff for today and think of it as fun stuff then, yeah? And just do that fun stuff every day that I can. I think that would be helpful. That said, when I decided to lose weight, I did lose weight. I lost 27 pounds. Then it all came back again. And when I've decided to do other things, I have done them, such as moving here to the US. But then there are times when you think, oh God, what was I thinking? So I don't know which goals I need to set. Maybe you could all assist me with a few goals. Right now I've had eye surgery. I'm working day by day, hour by hour with eye drops to figure out how to move forward, to be able to see. And if I can really see better, I might get a new car. So that's like a goal, a fun thing maybe. And I'd like to pick up my business that's been on hold for a while. So I'll need to set a few goals for that. I encourage you guys to do it on your birthday though. I don't quite see this whole New Year thing. It's a miserable time of year. And it's not my favorite time of the year to start doing anything. But when it's your birthday and everything comes back and everyone says many happy returns, the whole world has spun around and it's starting again. I think that's a brilliant time to set new goals and make them happen. Thank you for that question.
Thank you, Angel. My next question is, the popular singer David Bowie once said, I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise that it won't be boring. Do you share David Bowie's sentiment? And I'd like to ask this question to Pat.
Okay. Do I share Bowie's sentiment? Yeah, definitely. I love David Bowie. He was such a, I don't even know how to describe it. He was such a inventor. He reinvented himself so many times, and he was, every time it was pretty good. You know, Ziggy Stardust, and then you know, his later albums were also very good. I love Heroes and Ashes to Ashes. But do I share that I don't know where I'm going, but it's gonna be good? Yeah, he's a very, very positive. You know, that's kind of like what Megan was saying. Like, she's, if you believe it, you know it, then it's good. You're gonna attract it. You're gonna attract something positive if you. You know, I'm working on that myself, trying to just you know, see, like they say, if you, you know, if you're in a, like a difficult situation and you say, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, that you'll kind of attract that. You'll see more trees, you know, as instead of a way through the snow. They say skiers, they try not to look at the trees, just look for the snow, the open snow. So I try to just, they say, oh, I know I'll make it out of this. And you things in your life pop up that help you. So that's all I got.
Thank you, Pat. My next question is, do you believe that we choose our circumstances or that circumstances choose us? And how do you think that your belief will reflect in what is to come in 2020? And I'd like to ask this question to Greg.
Okay. Let's see. I lost the question somewhere. What was the question again? Where are you?
Sure. Yeah. It's do you believe that we choose our circumstances or that circumstances choose us? And how do you think that your belief about this will reflect in what is to come in 2022?
Wow. Well, I believe that we choose our course, but I also believe that we don't really have any inkling or any ability to know what'll happen to us in the meantime. That, I mean, I'm an optimistic guy, but heaven knows that there are plenty of obstacles that keep us from having a stupendous life. We get sick, we have viruses running around and things of that nature. But I do believe that people should head out doing the things that they really want to do. And there's a good chance that you'll make it. And if you don't, well, that's life. Life is hard. Get used to it. That's all. Did I say stupendous yet?
Yes,
Anyway,
you did.
I think life, I'll say it again, I think life is stupendous, but it does have lots of obstacles along the way. That's just the way it is.
For sure. Thank you so much, Greg.
Thank you so much, Evie, for that. I need to stop you there, but you got everybody in. And what stupendous questions about the new year and the new starts. Thank you so much for that. I would like to turn to Christiana and find out if all our table topics speakers came to time. Are they all eligible to be voted for?
They are all eligible to be voted for. Yes.
Ooh, well then we're going to have a poll come up in a minute where you can vote for the one that you thought that was most wonderful. But before you do that, Greg, darling, did they all use the word of the day? Because if they didn't, we're not going to give them a vote.
I didn't. Let's see. I didn't hear one from Steve. I didn't hear one from Stacy.
Oh,
is that true?
Oh,
and I didn't hear one from Pat.
Okay, but the other people you see, yes, they could.
Everyone else said the word of the day.
Wonderful, thank you, stupendous. They could perhaps be voted for. So when the poll comes up, go ahead and give a vote. We're also going to vote, well, we would normally vote for the best speaker and the best evaluator, but because we only had one of each, it doesn't really matter how long they talked for or whether they get voted for, because they're both winners as far as we're concerned. They both did us proud. And to hear Alex talking, a Ukrainian speaking in such fantastic English, just impresses me every single time. Thank you for that, Alex, your brilliant evaluation. So I'm not seeing it. Is it in the chat? Oh, there it is. So you guys go ahead and pick. If you don't remember who they were, see if you can see their name underneath their photograph, and just pick somebody for the best table topic and submit that for us. And we will have that figured out by the end of the meeting. In the meantime, though, Greg, did you hear any other really good uses of English today?
I heard a batch, actually. Wasn't even able to put them all down because there were so many. I like Steve saying he wanted to make sure he didn't say too much. That's a feeling that all of us share all the time. Me too, even after 20 years here or so. Pat found my passion in the 5th grade. I really like that. 5th grade, I was trying to decide how much saliva to dribble. I tell you, I knew nothing in the 5th grade. And I'm amazed at people who decide what they want to do when they're young. All I want to do is go to the movies and read. That's it. Alex, no amount of money. Oh no, Alex brought this up too, Pat, that you said no amount of money will bring you peace. Will bring you peace if your head's not in it, heart's not in it. That's really good. And you got nominated for an Emmy. Yay. Good for you. That's an amazing thing. Trang, I can't remember the context exactly, but said that's how we're all related, which I like that. Megan said wonderful, fabulous, stupendous, and a whole bunch of other superlatives, which I thought that was fun. Alex says that we should share the greatness of the day with others, which is a terrific thing to say. And Stacy said her goal is to set goals. I really like that one too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that report, Greg. I love that. But on the other side of the coin today, we have Lucille, who I hope will let us all know all the influent and terrible things that we said today, like
Thank you so much, Angel. So we've been off for a couple Fridays now, so definitely we need some practice. So I'm trying to listen very carefully. So I'm going to start with those people that did not have any influences. Angel, I did not hear any. Deanna, very good, nothing. Alex, nothing. Stacy, nothing for as far as during table topics. Stacy, nothing. And let's see, Pat, during your speech, you've got 5 1 1 so. This is the so where I'm listening very carefully that you should not be using. The same thing with the and. There are certain things that the and is okay to use, but this and you start with a sentence, which you could easily just stop and start without an and to it. And you said like 2 times, and there's a couple false starts. Alex, during your evaluation, you did quite a bit of ahs and ums, and that's more than 10. So I'm just going to say it like that. And you've got a couple of ands as well. Evie, couple ahs and Devin, 1 and. Trang, very good actually, 1 ah and 2 ums for your first time being here in Toastmaster. Steve, you just had 1 repeat. You said it is. That's about it. Megan, very good today. Megan, 2 ahs. Let's see, Stacy did not have any. Angel, Pat, during your table topics, you had more than 10 ahs again. And Greg, I caught 1 ah. That's my report for the day. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for that report, Lucille. That was very thorough and very helpful. And for the benefit of our guests, just be grateful we're not clicking at you, because you'll find that in some of the clubs, anytime they think something you've said was an influency like that, they'll clicker at you or ask you for a dime, maybe. It's one way of preventing it. Perhaps we should bring that in one day. Anyhow, we're getting close to the end of our meeting. I would love to ask Stacy, our general evaluator, to give us her evaluation of the meeting, and then we will find out who won the table topic ribbon today.
Thank
Stacy.
you, Angel. Thank you. Well, I love doing the evaluation of the meeting. It's a positive thing, and I might have a few suggestions here and there, but we started on time, and even though we had different clocks, I think we still started on time. The one thing I would suggest is that we introduce the roles before we get started with the speeches. I believe that the speech that Pat gave was very good, and the fact that Alex was the evaluator, I am just blown away by how thorough our evaluator was. And I'm jealous, I guess, a little bit, because I think if you're that good of an evaluator, you should run in one of those evaluation contests.
In fact, I am attending area contest next week. That's why I've been.
Oh, very good. Yeah, because you're very good at evaluation. Zoom, I believe, since we're on Zoom, one of the things that we don't remember to do is to change our name to show our title of our role, which, is just a minor thing, but I think it helps, when we know who's doing what. Some of us did, some of us didn't. Angel did a really good job with her Toastmaster role, and Evie also had a great table topics today. I believe your questions were very well written for people to answer, and I love the answers. It just table topics is still one of my favorite things that we do. And the new beginnings is very appropriate for the new year. I forgot the word of the day, and that's just one of those things I really have to work on. It just drives me crazy.
Stupendous.
Always forget. And one other thing I noticed, and I know that Christiana's not been doing timing very long, but she was showing the yellow first, when actually it's the green first. If you think of it like a traffic light, it's green, yellow, red, but that's okay. You're still learning, and that's, we've all made mistakes, so don't feel bad. But other than that, the meeting was fabulous. We had a great turnout, and that's all I have to say today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Stacy. And I now have some great news for you. And I just want to add that the reason we got through so many people at Table Topics is because we didn't waste any time. And I don't believe in introducing people twice. I introduce them when it's time for them to speak. And I don't introduce them ahead of time when that's a whole table topic someone could be giving. So that's the reason why I didn't do it that way. Oh, I'm such a rebel. I'm terrible, I know. But I am happy to tell you that if I had a ribbon, I'd be stretching it right now. I'd be trying to maybe cut it into two, because we have a tie. And our tie today for the most interesting and fabulous and perfect and stupendous table topic is between, drum roll please, Megan and Trang. So Trang, congratulations. I think you went down very well. And congratulations, Megan, you spoke beautifully today. And I want to thank you all very much for letting me be your Toastmaster. Hand it back to Stacy, our president, for her announcements. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angel. Boy, the time really flies by, doesn't it? I have a few announcements, mainly because we just changed a few of our officers, and as always, Toastmasters requires us to do club officer training, which is coming up very soon. And hopefully some of you have gotten the email notices of when the trainings are. The one I have written down here is February 5, and I don't know if I should share my screen, Devin, to show the letter. Maybe I could do that. Just for the details, because I don't remember all the details. But where's share screen thing? Where is that?
Hey, Stacy, can you also send out an email where we can sign up for training after this meeting, please?
Yes. I think I can just forward what I have. I don't know how to share my screen. Oh, nope, I don't see it. There it is.
The green button?
It's so big, I just didn't see it. So let me see if I can find that letter. I think here it is. Whoops. Now I can't see you guys. Oh, here we go. Can you see what I have up on the screen?
Yeah.
Can you see it? Okay. This is probably the one I need to forward, because there's a link for the Zoom, and it's for the club officers to attend the second round of officer training. It must be a first round. Let me go back through my emails and look. But morning session on Saturday, February 5th is 8 to 11:30. And then there's an afternoon training for afternoon session for club officer training for all. Let's see. Do I have to move that over? Anyway, I don't see it. I can't read all of it. It's hiding. Let's see. There we go. 105 district update, 115 membership growth club officer training. To receive credit, you must attend the entire training. So new this year, all officers are asked to read the attached club leadership handbook. So there's a attachment to this as well. So I will forward that and just stop the share right now. And then there was another club, and I forwarded this already. I don't know if you've gotten it, but hopefully you did. That another division has been hit hard during the holiday break, and they lost 4 of their functionaries and 1 test speaker for the upcoming area contest. So it is from Stephanie Cease, who's North Division Director. And they have, let's see, it's a joint contest, area 15, 23, and 24 on January 12. Is that the one you were talking about, Alex?
Yeah, so I'm part of that. And Stephanie said she found a bunch of folks to fill in for, I think, judges and stuff. But she may be looking for one more person. So if you're interested, reach out to Stephanie Cease, and
okay,
she might provide you some info with that.
Just go back and do a search in your email for Toastmasters joint area contest, and you'll be able to find it that way. And I already told you about the ribbon that we just got. And our next meeting will be live at Heritage Hall. I would like to ask Trang to share with you what you thought about our meeting and whether we will see you next week. Do you want to share?
Thank you. Yes, of course, I would love to share. I thought this meeting was very insightful. It has been great meeting all of you. Pat, you did amazing. This is our first time meeting, but I felt very connected to you. I am early in my career, so I totally know the space that you're in. Finding your passion and figuring that all out can be very difficult, but great to know that we are not alone. So thank you all for inviting me, and yeah, I feel super welcomed. Thank you.
We're glad you were here. Thank you so much. We love having guests and potential new members. So also, Steve, we'd like to get some feedback from you, see how you enjoyed the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed the meeting quite a bit, actually. Angel is such a good speaker. Having her lead the meeting was so just an enjoy. And that's probably why I decided to come. I was thinking, if she's good, if she's going to be there, I think I'll listen. But anyway, I really enjoyed Pat's speech, how he stood up. In our meeting, we don't stand up. And I don't know if that's the norm here, but I think it should be on our meeting. We should change. I should make that suggestion. But I know on my next time I give a speech, I'm going to stand up, because that's what you do in real life, right? We don't have this crutch where you can just, because really you can have your speech right on the computer screen, reading it and pretending like you've got it memorized. So anyway, besides that, though, I really did enjoy the speech. I like the meeting and the energy within the group. I can't come to the physical meeting, so you'll only see me once a month because I work, and if at work I can go walk into a little office and do it, or we're working from home, I can do it, but I just can't commit the full time to drive down or up to Carlsbad. So you'll probably see me next month.
All right.
Yay.
Make a note of the link.
We so thank you for attending today. It was very nice to have you here. And I don't know of anything else, but I will get, as soon as we get off of this Zoom, I will search my emails for all the officers' trainings so that you are up to date and so you don't miss anything. Lucille.
They can go to the D5. Deanna just send the link to the D5 calendar, and
Okay.
that's where you can find the schedule of the officers training, and you can click right there and register as well.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Lucille. Sometimes I need help, that's why I have a team. So at this point, are there any other announcements, any comments? Anybody want to say anything?
I'll speak next week if you need.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. That's what I was forgetting. Okay, thank you, Megan. Next week, we actually have speaker 1 is Lucille, correct? It's the 14th.
I am.
Right.
Okay.
And
Because
speaker
I have to
two-
get ready.
We actually have the schedule almost completely filled. We have Evie as Toastmaster, Angel as Table Topics. So you guys are switching the roles.
Switching.
Lucille is Speaker 1, Mike Speaker 2, Pat Evaluator 1, Evie. Are you doing 2 roles, or do you want somebody else to be Evaluator 2?
Well, let's see. I was not aware that I'm Toastmaster, so I'm fine with either way, being the evaluator or Toastmaster. If anybody here wants to grab one of these spots, I'll be happy to be the other one.
Megan, do you think any of those appeal to you? You want to be an evaluator? Or do you want to be a general evaluator?
I'll do general evaluator, I guess.
Okay.
So you don't need a speaker.
We don't need a speaker. You have to-
Megan, if you really want to speak, I could step out and give it to you.
No,
But I'm fine either way, and then I can either be a Toastmaster or I know you're working on your pathway. So if you need more of that, I'll be happy to give that spot to you.
Thank you so much, Lucille. I don't know where I am on my pathway, so.
So let's reach out to Devin. She can help you.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Devin.
Yes, we'll get all caught up on that really soon. The pathways, we all need to pay attention to it and work on our goals. Speaking of goals. And the other roles that we have. Yes? Did somebody else say something? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Our grammarian will be Alex next week. The counter is Anita and timer is Paul. So I will send out a reminder. Yeah, everybody will be able to see that when I send the email out. So, and also, if you do click on the link of the schedule, it will take you to where you can see what the openings are for speaking. At that point, I believe I'm done for the day, and I will adjourn this meeting. So thank you so much for attending, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.